like you guys read in the title, there was no photo finish for Ryan Blaney to get a win this season. And this race, it makes me question why does Atlanta have two races this year after we had a boring race last year and they added another one. But thank God that the one in July is going to be 400 miles because I cannot take another 500 miles of Atlanta. I'm just not excited for next year either. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and dive on into this episode. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 40 back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Folds of Honor Quiktrip 500. And yeah, this race, like I said at the beginning, was not the best and stuff. I just don't know why they added another Atlanta race. Like, Atlanta just needs to be repaved and stuff. I cannot wait for that. And for the facility to change. I just cannot wait for the changes to Atlanta because it's starting to get worn out. Actually, it is worn out. It just needs to be changed, like repaved right now. I know drivers and fans do not like repaves, but it's for the greater good if you don't want to have a boring race like this one that drags on with no excitement. Because I remember at one point Kyle Larson was like 5-10 seconds away from the rest of the drivers, like from second place. I don't know, but yeah. But in today's video, we're going to be looking at the top 10. We're also going to be rating the race. After that, we're going to be looking at notable finishers of drivers who did good, some that did bad that you don't see every day, and we're also going to, after that, we're going to wrap it up. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive on into this video. Finishing first was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney able to get his 5th career win, his first on a mile-and-a-half racetrack. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this wasn't a photo finish for Ryan Blaney because we remember 2017 at Pocono, he earned that one. 2018 at the Roval, right place, right time. And then the last two Talladega races that he won, 2019 and 2020, he barely won. He almost lost to Newman and almost lost to Stenhouse, who also used to drive for Roush Fenway Racing. So yeah, but still Blaney was able to have a good race. He was actually right behind Kyle Larson, because if there was any driver that could beat Larson, it was either him or Alex Bowman, but Blaney definitely was better, especially his pit crew. His pit crew put on like the fastest pit stop the second fastest pit stop of the year, so that was pretty incredible for them. That probably helped them get into the position that they were, and also he had some help with his teammate Joey Logano. So yeah, and people are pretty mad at Joey Logano. They're slandering him about for what he did to Kyle Larson, because a lot of people are Hendrick Motorsports fans and stuff, so I can kind of see that. But really, I just have to say, it's not all Logano's fault, and I'll explain that after we're done rating the race. But still, decent day for Ryan Blaney, and does he get a win, another win in 2021, or is it still one win a year? If it's been going on for the past 4 years, I think it's going to go on for 5. Ryan Blaney will not win until 2022. Finishing in second was Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson coming up with another heartbreaker. Like, before Larson, got suspended and stuff, he had some heartbreakers in his career, especially in 2017. But still, Kyle Larson, another heartbreaker today. Or actually yesterday, I'm filming on Monday. But yeah, a heartbreaker for Larson. Led the most laps, like 260 laps. He put on a dominating performance, just like Martrix Jr. at the Coca-Cola 600 in 2016, leading over almost the entire race and stuff. He had a good day and stuff. But, those last 10 laps, Larson was just pretty loose, and the car wasn't as good as it was in the beginning. And then Blaney was easily catching them. But we'll talk more about that Logano, Blaney, Larson thing after we rate the race. But still, Kyle Larson had a good day. He kind of felt like Kevin Harvick in 2017, when Harvick led the most laps, and then Keselowski took the checker flag. So, guess it happened again. So, yeah, that really sucks. But still, Kyle Larson did have a decent day. They already have a win, and they were looking for their second win of the year, trying to be the first repeat winner of 2021. But we'll see, because we could have more than 16 winners this year, and we're already up to 6. We just need 11 more to get 17, so it's possible. So if you're a Michael McDowell fan, then you might be worried, but still, decent day for Kyle Larson. We'll see if they can do better at the Bristol Dirt Race next week, which I'm pretty excited for. Finishing third was Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, he also had a decent race. Not a race-winning car to beat Blaney or Larson, but he still had a decent day in that LA Chevrolet, finishing in third. Finishing in third because their best finish of the year was 9th at Homestead, and they were able to get a good finish today because Bowman, he's pretty decent at Atlanta, but he didn't have a race-winning car, but he still did good. Really, Hendrick Motorsports has just been dominating lately, and they asked on the pre-race show, could Hendrick Motorsports have more wins than JGR? It is possible, especially with these good runs by Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott being the defending series champ, and he has the road courses coming up and stuff. William Byron with his new crew chief Rudy Fugle doing great at these mile and a half tracks, and Alex Bowman always being there to show up pretty late or early in these races. So watch out for Alex Bowman, but I'm really proud of them in that Ally team to get a 3rd place finish. Now let's see if they can get a win. Bristol Dirt. Bowman, he has raced on dirt before, but I'm not sure if he'll be that much of a competitor, but we'll just have to see next week. Finishing in 4th was Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, he was a factor, like top 5 car. He didn't have a race-winning car, but he was still decent up there. You know, Denny Hamlin does not have a win so far this year, so we just got to see what Hamlin can do because a bit of a slow start, but we're only 6 races in, so you got to cut him some slack, but still, you look like a championship contender, so we'll just have to see. But still, Denny Hamlin's had solid runs, not race-running runs, though. He's been having runs like getting top 5s, top 10s week in, week out, but not wins, so we have to see what happens to them. Bristol Dirt, I don't know if they'll do that good, but we'll just have to see. But nothing that Denny Hamlin could do. He didn't have that much of a good race, but he had a decent one. But we'll see what Denny Hamlin can do, because these next few races, I'm not sure Hamlin could even capitalize or get a win there, but we'll just have to see for ourselves. And rounding up the top 5 and 5th was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch also had a recovery in this race. Like, after Chase Elliott blew up in the race, and when they went down pit road, he had a speeding penalty, and he was able to, rebound from that, able to get a 5th place finish. So, good job for them, but him and his crew chief Buescher, still don't know how to say his last name, dude, but still, him and his new crew chief, they're doing pretty decent. I think Kyle Busch has been doing a bit better to the start of the year this year than he was last year. Well, I'm not sure, because Phoenix, they didn't do so good. Homestead, I forgot where they finished. I think they got a top 10. Las Vegas, I think they did decent. So I think they're having a better start to the season than they were last year, but I only expect Kyle Busch to get maybe like 2, maybe 3 wins this year. I think it's just going to be 2 or something. But he'll still make the playoffs, but we'll just have to see. But overall, decent day for Kyle Busch and the 18 team, and right now, if you're a Kyle Busch fan, you're just waiting for another win. Finishing 6th was Austin Dillon. Guys, watch out for Austin Dillon, this 3 team. They've had a good run on these mile and a halves lately. In Atlanta, I was very impressed getting a 6th place finish and stuff. They definitely had a top 10 car. I don't know. Him and Tyler Reddick kind of switched spots. Now you have Austin Dillon having these good runs. He could definitely win a race or just point his way into the playoffs if we don't have more than 16 winners. But on the other hand, Tyler Reddick has just been struggling lately. I mean, he did get that runner-up finish at Homestead, but still he's been struggling in these past few races, and it's a bit of a concern for that team. But still, Austin Dillon been having decent races as well, probably top 10, top 15 runs. So watch out for Austin Dillon. They could definitely make the playoffs. Other than that, Austin Dillon didn't have that much significant of a race. They just had a good race, top 10 days, so that's pretty good for them moving forward into the season. Finishing 7th was Chris Buescher. Guys, I am telling you, Chris Buescher is the most underrated NASCAR driver in the Cup Series right now. I mean, he wins a stage at Homestead, beating Brad Keselowski, and Brad Keselowski, of course, Team Penske equipment is better than freaking Roush Fenway equipment. Wait, and also speaking of Roush Fenway, LeBron James is now co-owner of Roush Fenway Racing, so is that the solution? Well, actually, no, because Chris Buescher and Luke Lambert have been working pretty good together, and Homestead, they had a good run. But yeah, Chris Buescher's been doing really good. He's been top 10 all day, or almost all day, getting a 7th place finish. Really proud of them. Can't wait to see what they can do at Bristol Dirt and at some of these short tracks, because short tracks, Fords are really good at those tracks, so I can't wait to see what he can do there. But these mile and a half tracks, they got them knocked down just like that. But we'll just have to see. But yeah, overall decent day for Chris Buescher and the 17 team. Now, can they make the playoffs? That's a bit of a stretch, but I hope they do. Even though I'll have my prediction wrong, but I hope they do, because Chris Buescher, he's a good guy, and he deserves to make the playoffs, because he works hard. Finishing in 8th is William Byron. William Byron getting another top 10 or another 8th place finish. Was that the second or third 8th place finish? Would not be surprised if they had an average finish of 8th this year. But still, William Byron, working together with his crew chief Rudy Fugle, having good runs here at the mile and a half racetrack. So that's very impressive by that team. I don't know why this camera's doing that. I'm not on my iPad because I tried filming on my iPad. Something was wrong, so I switched over to the camera. But still, William Byron having good runs with Rudy Fugle. I just keep saying Rudy Fugle, Rudy Fugle. I mean, that's kind of the reason, because so far this has been William Byron's best year ever. So if they keep this up, they could get more wins and probably be a championship threat by the end of the year, but we'll just have to see. But decent race for William Byron in the 2014. Nothing much significant. They were good at the beginning, but kind of faded a bit towards the end. Finishing in 9th was Martrix Jr. Martrix Jr. also had a decent race today in the number 19 team. They weren't significant. They didn't have any significant problems today, any significant moments. They were just there, but they weren't running as good as like some of these other drivers. I mean, you get beat out by Chris Buescher and you're MTJ, and you just won the last race. I mean, come on. But still, Martrix Jr. had a decent race and stuff. I'm not sure if they'll be like a championship there. I mean, they could, if they go to Phoenix, they could go back and win there just like they did last week, but we'll just have to see. But Martrix Jr. did make a bit of recovery, getting a top 10, because he was like in 15th, and did the long run at Atlanta in stage 3. They were able to get a top 10 finish, so decent day for them, but still a little bit more progress needs to be made on their mile and a half program. And finally, rounding at the top 10 and 10th, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but surprisingly rounding up in the top 10 is Kevin Harvick. I have no idea what happened to Kevin Harvick. Like, I heard on the radio, like, that was the worst car he's ever driven at Atlanta. I don't know, something's been going on with SHR. I mean, you have Harvick struggling. He did rebound and get a top 10, so that's decent, but I don't even think they got any stage points today, or actually yesterday. Amarillo being Amarillo, I don't know what's going on. Cole Custer, he's young, and same thing with Chase Briscoe, he's a rookie, so that's going to be a bit of an issue for SHR. I just don't know what's going on. They're probably going to be the worst team, or the worst best team, the worst best team of the year. I don't know how you say it, but still, Kevin Harvick, he did have an issue on the car. He had to go down pit road at the beginning of stage 2, or after a caution or something. I don't know, but Kevin Harvick has been having struggles like this. I mean, he did do good at Phoenix last week, but then Las Vegas he had a problem. Atlanta, Homestead, he's had a problem. So it's mostly these mile and a halves that they're kind of struggling with, but we'll see what they can do at the short tracks. We'll see what they can do at Bristol Dirt, maybe Martinsville or Richmond, but I'm not sure about a mile and a half, because they kind of suck right now, and they got to get that fixed. So they're kind of like Martrix Jr., so they got a lot of progressing to do, like a lot of rebuilding they have to do. And now let's rate this race. Like I said, this race sucked. It wasn't as bad as the one in 2020, because that one really sucked. This one had a decent finish, but once again, finishes can't save the entire race. So I have to give this race a 3 out of 10, or 30% out of 100. This race sucked. I just did not like it. I mean, I had soccer practice yesterday, and I'm kind of glad that I had it. Or actually, I went, because I heard that stage 1 was pretty boring. Well, actually, you had that Kurt Busch incident, but it was probably a bit uneventful, because, Larson was dragging out his lead, or stretching his lead and stuff. So, yeah, I entered the race, like, I started watching the race with, like, 22 laps to go in stage 2. So, yeah, and I don't think, I didn't really enjoy stage 3, or the ending of stage 2. But still, yeah, I rated it a 3 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give in the comment section below. Now we're going to talk a bit about the Logano and, Kyle Larson incident. I mean, a lot of fans are just slandering Joey Logano, and Kyle Larson, he wasn't that happy with Joey Logano. And really in his post-race interview, Larson didn't even mention Joey Logano. He was just mentioning how the car was fading away and Blaney was catching them in a hurry. But still, you cannot put the entire blame on Logano. Actually, I don't even think you could put any, because Logano was just trying to stick out for a teammate, and you've had drivers stick out for teammates. I mean, you had, Logano, he did block Chase Elliott, so he couldn't catch Denny Hamlin. That was a bit of revenge from the Bristol race. But then you also had Eric Jones help Denny Hamlin by not passing him so that Hamlin could make it to the championship 4. Even though Jones wasn't going to be at JGR next year, he was still technically Denny Hamlin's teammate until the checker flag at Phoenix. So, yeah, technically there. And then Kyle Larson, like I said, he's just sounded depressed on the radio after Cliff Daniels said, just rebuild, or regroup or something. I don't know exactly what he said. And then Kyle Larson just said in a very depressed voice, I hate Joey Logano, man. Man, hey, get in line. I mean, Keselowski, I don't even know if Keselowski's still mad at Logano, but hey, just get in line, Larson. You're not the only one. But yeah, that's the feud I just want to talk about. So I just basically want to clear up and say it's not 100% Joey Logano's fault. Because he's trying to help a teammate. And Larson, he was just falling off towards the end. And Blaney could have caught Kyle Larson with or without Joey Logano. But yeah, I think that was probably the most exciting part of the race. I mean, the Xfinity race on Saturday was pretty exciting. It was pretty cool because you had Martrix Jr. go against Justin Allgaier and stuff. And you also had that incident with Daniel Hemrick and Noah Gragson. I mean, 30-year-old Hemrick versus 22-year-old Gragson. Wow, that one was wild. That was pretty wild there. But, yeah, I don't know who was in the wrong. I didn't see the exact thing. I'm just going to go off to the Xfinity Series right quick. I don't know who was exactly right or wrong. Really, if NASCAR didn't or did penalize Noah Gragson, I wouldn't have been surprised. But if there was a car right behind Hemrick's pit stall, then it was Noah Gragson should have been penalized. But if there wasn't a car in front or behind Hemrick's pit stall, then I could see how Noah Gragson was mad. So I just want to clear that up. But now let's move on to the notable drivers that we want to give some shout outs to. Now some notable drivers I want to talk about that had good runs. Matt Benedetto had a good run. He was running in the top 10 in some part of the race, but then, due to the long green flag run, they fell back to 11th. They didn't get a top 10, but that was by far his best finish so far of the year, because his best finish before that was 14th at Phoenix last week. Stenhouse, I don't know what's with Stenhouse. He's good at Atlanta. I mean, he won the pole for Atlanta in 2013 in his rookie year. And then after a couple of years of bad luck, he's had good starts at Atlanta and good finishes too. So, I can't blame him. Stenhouse is good. Ryan Newman also had a good race, just like his teammate Chris Buescher, but not a top 10 car. He didn't have a long run car either. Just like Matt Benedetto started falling back, he got a 13th place finish. Chastain made a bit of a comeback. He had a penalty, and then he was able to regroup from that, get a 14th place finish. So shout out to him. And I was very, very impressed with Daniel Suarez and Team Track. I was getting stage points and stuff. That was pretty cool. And, Suarez didn't even have his crew chief, Travis Mack, because Suarez and Keselowski had penalties. So Keselowski lost Jeremy Bolins, and you also had Daniel Suarez with his new crew chief, or replacement crew chief, Jose Blanco. I forgot his last name, but he's a good pairing with Daniel Suarez. I'd rather have him than Travis Mack. No hate on Travis Mack. I'd rather have him because they had a good run. See, if it wasn't for that speeding penalty late in that race, they would have had a top 10. So props up to them and stuff. Well, they kind of probably would have finished like 11th or 12th or maybe 13th because of the long green flag run. But I'd rather have those two paired than Suarez with Travis Mack. So these are the 5 drivers I thought who had good runs or really surprised me. So shout out to these 5. Now you have some drivers who did not have good runs. First off, you had Chase Elliott, who blew up at the beginning of Stage 3. Really sucked for Chase Elliott being the hometown hero and, coming back to Atlanta and stuff, after winning the championship last year. So that really sucks for Chase Elliott and the 9 team, but I bet they'll regroup. In fact, I think that's their first DNF since, the Talladega race in the spring, and he actually ran in the sprint scheme. So I think maybe, I don't know, it's been a while. Next up, we have Tyler Reddick, who blew a tire. He got in the wall, had some pretty big damage, and finished 28th or something. Yeah, bad run for Tyler Reddick. He's making Austin Dillon look good. Kurt Busch, he had that incident. Hamlin got into the back of him, and Kurt Busch just got loose and he just hit the wall and stuff. And DNF finished dead last in 39th. Really sucked for Kurt Busch. They had a decent car, like a top 5 car. And next up, we have Christopher Bell. I was very disappointed with him. Finished like 21st or something. He was definitely a lap down or a couple laps down. So that really sucked for Bell. And Brad Keselowski had some damage. He finished like 29, 3 laps down, and he didn't even have his crew chief, Jeremy Bullen, so that really sucked for them. So yeah, these are the drivers who I thought had some pretty bad runs. Now, one last thing I want to talk about before I wrap this video up. Yet, Anthony Alfredo and Eric Almirola have that... Wait. Alfredo and wow, they both have the same initials, AA. That's stupid. But still, Anthony Alfredo and Eric Almirola, they had that incident on pit road where Almirola, you know, he was in his pit stall like this, and he had Anthony Alfredo spin, and then he tapped the back of Almirola's pit crew member with this quarter panel, and I was just thinking that's pretty dangerous. I mean, you gotta watch out for those things. I mean, we haven't had a close incident like that since the Brickyard 400 last year with Blaney's guy getting hit with his leg between like Blaney's car and Brennan Poole or something, you know, with that pileup on pit road. But still, yeah. Almirola, you know, not having a good run, but that was another significant thing I wanted to talk about. And that will do it, so guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram down in the description. My gaming channel link in the description. We'll have the Bristol Dirt Race review up on Sunday and stuff. I'll miss some of qualifying because I have a game on Saturday. And one last thing, we have the Bristol Dirt Race iRacing Pro Invitational Series race on Wednesday, and Dale Jr. will be racing. That'll be pretty cool. You have Clint Boyer, Jeff Gordon. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. And yeah, that'll do it for me. So you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day, and see you guys next time. Peace out.